Ew. Tapping in real quick. Something light, nothing major, just politicking some parlay placements, going over the fights that we're left with and all that. And you know what sticks out to me that's kind of wild, man? And at the same time kind of funny. I mean, these money lines are fucking ridiculous. Let's get that out the way first and foremost. But let's talk about these individuals making their UFC debuts up against individuals who have undeniably fought and beaten the higher level of opposition in their careers. You understand what I'm saying to you? First, we have Malik. Malik is coming in his UFC debut off the Dana White Contender Series as a significant favorite over Dusko, who, while Dusko may have had the best run in the UFC, it has been in the UFC. It has undeniably been up against a higher level of opposition. Their resumes are undeniably incomparable. You understand what I'm saying to you? And at least, like I said, while it hasn't been a good run in the UFC, it's been a run in the UFC up against an undeniable higher level of opposition. And how good of a run do we really think Malik is going to have in this division in the UFC, even with a win over Dusko on Saturday? You understand what I'm saying to you? It's crazy to me that, he opened as such a significant favorite and continues to climb up, as even more significant favorite. And everybody's writing Dusko to fuck off, but he has undeniably not just fought, but also beaten a higher level of opposition. And their resumes are undeniably incomparable. GM3 versus RDR. While RDR is proven to be dangerous against the individuals he's proven to be dangerous against, that is very much so against the individuals he's proven to be dangerous against, with 12 submissions and 2 knockouts. GM3, 29 submissions, 6 knockouts, quite a few of them over here in the UFC, undeniably, in my personal opinion, up against a higher level of opposition. You understand what I'm saying to you? He has been tested and he is proven. And while his ride has been a bit of a roller coaster in the UFC, it has been over here in the UFC. I can't say the same about the level of opposition that RDR has been getting his KOs and submissions and, decisions over, man. It is what it is, but I feel like the level of opposition is just different. And that has been proven from past individuals who have come over here from one. You understand what I'm saying to you? Wasn't Ben Askren a fucking champion over there or something, man? Like, I mean, come on, man. I'm just not high on the level of opposition that comes from over there. That's just my personal opinion, man. But yet, RDR opened up as a significant favorite, and he continues to creep higher and higher as a more significant favorite. The resumes, in my personal opinion, are undeniably incomparable, and GM3 is proven to be very dangerous over here against the individuals he's proven to be dangerous against. And what RDR has done over there, and why GM3 has quite a few more fights, man, it's still 29 submissions and 6 knockouts, man. He's still very fucking dangerous in his own right. You understand what I'm saying to you? And why are we giving these UFC debuters this price tag, right? But then we have another UFC debuter who's 7-0, who's proven to be dangerous up against the individuals he's proven to be dangerous against, but yet he's coming in here against Zaleski, who's more so on the end of his run, exiting his prime, and has had a bit of a roller coaster ride in his own right as of lately in the UFC. But he has undeniably faced a higher level of opposition, and everybody is making a case for Zaleski being such a significant favorite based off the fact that he has faced the higher level of opposition. He has undeniably been inside the cage, win, lose, or draw, up against the higher level of opposition. Their resumes are undeniably incomparable, and this is the case that everybody's making for why Zaleski should be such a big favorite and, should make it look relatively easy. Dusko, especially GM3, all 3 of them, in my personal opinion. Zaleski, GM3, and then Dusko coming in third. Maybe GM3 first, and then Zaleski, and then Dusko coming in third. But all 3 of them have undeniably faced a higher level of opposition, win, lose, or draw. They fought they both fought and beaten a higher level of opposition. Their resumes are undeniably incomparable as far as level of opposition is considered. And yes, they've had roller coaster of rides, but it's been inside the UFC. And what kind of a ride do we really think these other individuals are gonna have inside the UFC in these divisions, man? I don't fucking get it. I'm just over here ranting. I'm venting. It is what it is. Y'all can stay tapped in or tap the fuck out. That's completely up to y'all. Maybe I'm bugging the fuck out. Maybe y'all don't see it like I'm seeing it. But why the fuck Scroggins isn't a favorite? He's 7-0. He's proven to be dangerous against the level of opposition he's proven to be dangerous against. Zaleski's at the end of his motherfucking road, exiting his prime. You know what I mean? Fucking Malik is 6-0. That's only 6 fights. He's proven to be dangerous up against the level of opposition he's proven to be dangerous against. So we're going to make him a minus 375, minus 400 against Dusko, who's been in there with names. He's been in there with gats, wins, losses, draws. It doesn't fucking matter. The level of opposition is different. You understand what I'm saying to you? And how well would Malik have done against all of the individuals Dusko's been in there against? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? He's 6-0. Proven to be dangerous against the level of opposition and the individual is proven to be dangerous against, so we're going to make him a minus 400. Scroggins is 7-0, but we're going to make him a plus 400 or a plus 500 against Zaleski because Zaleski has what? Undeniably been up against the higher level of opposition. Wins, losses, draws, it doesn't fucking matter. The resumes are undeniably incomparable. This is the case we're going to make for him. But we're not gonna put any weight on that case for these other individuals. We're not gonna make no case for GM3 having faced, having beaten, having finished, having submitted, having knocked out, having done all of the above to the higher level of opposition. We're not gonna make no case for GM3 on that. You know what I'm talking about? And we're not gonna make no case for Dusko on the fact that Dusko's undeniably been in there with the higher level. We're just gonna write Dusko off like this shit should look relatively easy. Come on, man. Why are we writing Ricky off? Why the fuck we writing Ricky off? Sopaj is another prospect coming off a loss where he was finished inside the distance, and what we're trying to do is take as much as we can take away from that loss to make us more confident in picking Sopaj, because there's so much maybe we don't like about Ricky's game, the activity, the extra shit, all the extra shit that he does, his whole aura, whatever. Like, I don't fucking know. If it's the attitude, if it's the, persona, if it's the way he puts himself out there. Like, I don't know what it is that individuals don't like about Ricky. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe it just looks like he's doing more than what he's actually doing. So he's, you know what I mean, exposing too much energy. I don't know what people don't like about Ricky, but it feels like whatever motherfuckers don't like about Ricky, they're trying to go and really find what they can find out of the loss that Sobaj took to Vinicius to, credit their motherfucking case for motherfucking a win over Ricky, man. And fuck that. If I was pick switching, I'd have been pick switched to Ricky, especially with the way that money line opened. But I told you I'm not pick switching no more. I'm just properly preparing myself for being on the wrong side of some of these picks. And there's no way Ricky should have a dog tag up next to his name like that when he's up against the individual whose UFC debut he took a loss. And yes, it was to Vinicius, but that was that next step up. And Ricky's been playing around at that next step up. Up and down, up and down. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's undeniably been in there with the higher level of opposition. The individuals that have beaten Ricky, I mean, come on, man. Raul Rosas is what? 5 or 6-1 inside the UFC. Like, they don't have bad records with the exceptions like what was it, Boston Simon or something like that. Everybody else that beat Ricky has very good fucking records inside the UFC up against the individuals they have really good records inside the UFC up against. It's very much prospect versus prospect. We can't put too much, overly invest into these prospects when they've looked good up against other prospects. It's what I said when the individual who beat Raul Rosas, everybody was like, oh my God, Christian Rodriguez, oh my God, we got to run to the window with this. We getting him at a buy low number. No, the fuck you not. No, you not. Julian Erosa's going to hurt this young boy and wrap him the fuck up. Trust me what I tell you. And what did he do? He hurt that young man and wrapped him the fuck up. Got him the fuck up out of there inside the distance. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. Stop it. Because Christian Rodriguez looked good who he looked good up against. Dana was using him and sicking him out there on them prospects that were looking good. He was the prospect killer until he no longer wasn't. You understand what I'm saying to you? Come on, man. You can't overly invest into these prospects, and that's what you're doing. That's what anybody's doing. If they're looking at the loss that Sobaj took in his UFC debut and trying to pull the positives away from that. Ricky's a different beast, man. He's a different machine. He's approaching the fight differently. He's going to attack the fighter differently. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's going to mix it together differently. It's fucking different. One thing has nothing to do with the other. It's all worth consideration. The one thing I'm considering is, old boy's been clipped and disconnected from his consciousness inside the distance, and it happened in his UFC debut. That's what he's coming off of in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Am I comfortable with the price tag next to his name, man? Why are we writing these motherfuckers off, man? To UFC debuters and and individuals that are coming off being on the wrong side of their UFC debut, man. Huh? It's Robellis to Spain, making him a significant favorite after he got dragged out by Salsa Boy. The blueprint was laid out, but we made him a significant favorite. And what Austin do? Followed the fucking blueprint to a T. Huh? Now what do we do with Robellis? We kick him the fuck out. Well, you know, should have never made him that big of a significant favorite. You understand what I'm saying to you, man? You can't be making these cats, watch out, yo, the dog on my ass. You can't be making these motherfuckers significant favorites when they coming off losses, man. They coming off losses. You know what I'm talking about? And some of them coming off losses where they were finished, I gotta roll up, where they were finished inside the distance, man. And you can't do that shit, man. You can't do that. They're prospects who've looked good against other prospects. You understand what I'm saying to you? Why the fuck are we arguing their statistics? They need to be tested against a legitimate level of opposition for us to argue their statistics moving forward. You understand what I'm saying to you, man? And Ricky has been tested against a pretty legitimate level of opposition amongst the prospects that are a legitimate level of opposition. You understand what I'm saying to you? On that tier, Ricky's been tested. Sopaj, you know, he was getting after it with Vinicius. And then that was that with that. Yeah, the Christmas decorations is up around here. My 16-year-old, she'll be 17 on the 15th. My 16-year-old, as soon as she picked up the Halloween decorations, Christmas went everywhere. If you tune in live for the motherfucking fights, you'll see. It's all types of shit around this motherfucker. Oh, they get ready to start tussling and knock this motherfucking phone everywhere, man. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, though. One thing has nothing to do with the other. It's all worth consideration, man. You know what I'm talking about? We're making some of these individuals significant favorites. For what reason? I don't know. They look good up against the individuals they look good up against. Some of them, you know, made a UFC debut and lost. You understand what I'm saying to you? But we're still making him a significant favorite over individual who at least has wins inside that UFC octagon, and his losses do come to a fairly decent level of opposition, legitimate level of opposition as far as this tier is concerned. You understand what I'm saying to you? Amongst all these prospects, Ricky's being disrespected, man. Ricky's being disrespected. And GM3 is being disrespected, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. 29 submissions and 6 knockouts. He likes to do his best work when he's entangled with somebody. 12 submissions, 2 knockouts. He likes to do his best work when he's entangled with somebody. But GM3, in my personal opinion, has done his best work entangled with a higher level of opposition. So let's roll these dice and see where they lay. Huh? You want to get entangled? Let's play. You want to stand here at distance, at range? Let's play. You know what I'm talking about? I think GM3 is better, man. Absolutely everywhere. Except for, like he said, maybe in the, you know, pure, like, jiu-jitsu entries as far as MMA, wrestling, and all of that is concerned. Because he compared him to a, you know, a Ryan Hall and a Damian Maia type. You know what I'm talking about? There is a blueprint to beating Ryan Hall's and Damian Maia's, Ilia Topuria, couple individuals followed it on Ryan Hall's. You understand what I'm saying to you? And the Damian Maia's, the individuals that followed that blueprint very much so, you know, were able to secure victories against that young man as well, even in his prime. You understand what I'm saying to you? But they're dangerous individuals. You just have to know how to approach those fights and how to attack those individuals. Like a Paul Craig. Don't follow him down. Bo Nickel. You don't follow a Paul Craig down to the ground thinking you're not going to come out like a Magomed Ankalaev did. You don't sleep on this young man. You understand what I'm saying to you? You just chop at them legs, back up and make the ref standing back up, and you keep piecing that motherfucker up until he doesn't want to get up no more. You know what I'm talking about? And that can happen. Chuck Liddell versus, fuck, man. What was the boy, his name? I can't think of it right now. I can't think of his name. It's on the top of... Fuck, man. The very first month... Chuck Liddell's UFC debut. He found himself down on the mat with old boy. Old boy had Chuck in the choke. When the round ended, old boy stood up. Name is right there. Old boy stood up and backed off, but Chuck was still laying on the ground, so he lost his UFC debut. He was choked the fuck out. You know what I'm talking about? He couldn't get the fuck up. He was sleeping. He didn't tap. But that motherfucking clack went, and they separated them motherfuckers, and Chuck didn't get up. I can't think of his name. But later on down the road, when Chuck had gained the title, I think it was like UFC 54, after he fought Randy Couture. Fucking name is right there, man. After he fought Randy Couture, he fought old boy again in UFC 54, I think it was, man. And Chuck just kept cracking. Bop, 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 bop. Putting him down, bop. Putting him down, piecing him up, putting him down, and wouldn't follow him to the ground. Wouldn't follow him to the ground, man. And then I think it was the second round. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the second round. Old boy tapped the motherfucking ref like, that's it, it's over, man. It's over, I'm done. After he cracked me with like a right, I think it was a right hook or some shit, a straight right. In the first, he said I couldn't fucking see shit. Like shit, she straight. It's been a couple of them out that motherfucker for the last 4 or 5 minutes. Like I can't go on no more. I can't think of old boy's name, man. You know what I mean? But you got to know how to approach motherfuckers like that. And Chuck knowed how to approach that fight properly the next time in that rematch with the title on the line, not giving a fuck, knowing he was fitting to fight again at UFC 57 or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Gotta love Iceman in his prime, man. I don't know why I can't think of that motherfucker that he was fighting. His name is gonna come to me later, and I'm gonna tap in for 15 seconds just to remind y'all. Everybody gonna think I'm fucking losing my mind unless they saw this video. God damn it, man. But you gotta know how to approach these type of fights, man. You know what I mean? And I think GM3 knows exactly what he needs to do, especially being disrespected on this money line the way that he is, man. And Dusko, it is what it is, man. I'm not high on Dusko, just like I'm not high on Ricky, but Dusko and Ricky both have wins inside the UFC octagon, and Dusko and Ricky's losses both come to a higher level of opposition, and you can argue that their wins come over a higher level of opposition, man. They're being disrespected against these UFC debuters and these individuals coming off of being on the wrong side of their UFC debuts. You know what I mean? What really makes logical sense about these fucking money lines, man? Absolutely nothing. With Ricky and Dusko, the same case, you know, listen, they've lost to the higher level of opposition, but in the octagon, and how would, you know, the individuals that they're fighting on Saturday night done against the individuals that they lost to? They've beaten the higher level of opposition in the octagon. How would the individuals that they're fighting even have done against those individuals? And what kind of run are these individuals that they're fighting even going to have in the UFC? I know I'm renting. But this shit got me fucking mad, on top of taking my beautiful money lines from me in the Darby fight. Oh my God, I wanted that money line, man. And the Miles first card, I wanted that money line, man. Now I'm just fucking mad about this card. So anybody tap in got to deal with my bullshit, man. These motherfuckers. Man, they did I feel like I stepped in shit with both feet this week, fucking with this card, man. The way they did me dirty on my money lines. My God, the dogs want to get outside. The dogs is tired of hearing in my motherfucking mouth, man. Hold on, Ray. I'm still trying to roll this motherfucker up, man. Ew, man. Stepped in shit with both feet this week. That's how I feel about this motherfucking card, man. They done took my money lines away from me. Nicholas Darby, that was a beautiful money line. Miles Johns, that was a beautiful money line. And them two together, oh my God. Come on, man. Stop it. That was everything to me this week. And they took that shit from me. Now we gonna talk about what the fuck they left me with. You know what I mean? Raggedy motherfuckers. We gonna talk about, even if I'm on the opposite side of some of this shit I'm talking, we gonna fucking talk about it, man. Because I said I ain't pick switching no more. Know what I mean? Because I very much would pick switch. I'd fuck around and pick switch to Dusko and Ricky. Huh? Dusko and Ricky. By decision, motherfucker. Dusko and Ricky by decision is what the fuck I'd switch to this week. But I will be properly prepared for being on the wrong side of those picks on parlays that I do put in. I'm not going parlay crazy this week. I already got shit in. I had shit in for 309 that took 2 hits already on 2 decent fucking money lines. You know what I'm talking about? That was fucking ridiculous, taking Nikita away from me. I like that money line against Azamat to take his first O from him. They just playing too many fucking games, man. Too many last-minute games with these motherfucking changes. You know what I'm talking about? But we gonna make Zaleski. What is Zaleski coming off? Ain't Zaleski? I don't give a fuck. We gonna make Zaleski a favorite. Listen, Zaleski should be a favorite. But you know what? Dusko should be a slight favorite. And Ricky should be a slight fucking favorite too, man. Or they should be motherfucking pick'ems on the money line, man. You know what I'm talking about? Straight like that. We got UFC debuters. 6-0. We making the case for them being, you know, significant favorites at 6-0. Where's the case being made for Scroggin at 7-0? He's proven to be dangerous against the same lower level of opposition that he's proven to be dangerous against, just like Malik 6-0. Who's making the case for Scroggin this week, man? Somebody tap in and let me know so I can go check that out. I want to know who's making the case for Scroggin this week, man. It don't seem to me. I don't seem to be hearing anybody make the case for Scroggin, man. People be thinking Scroggin, don't he train with on Miles John's team? Miles Johns posted something about his homie catching a last minute fight. You know what I'm talking about? When his fight was still on. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm tripping. You know what I mean? But why ain't nobody making the case for Scroggin? He's a significant dog on this motherfucking card. But he's 7-0. And he's proven to be dangerous up against he's proven to be dangerous against. Just like Malik 6-0, who's proven to be dangerous up against he's proven to be dangerous up against who he's proven to be dangerous against. We making him a -400 over Dusko. Sopaj is proven to be dangerous up against who he's proven to be dangerous against. Although he got slumped inside the distance in his last matchup in his UFC debut, we're still going to make him a significant favorite over Ricky, who does have wins in the octagon, and his losses do come via a legitimate level of opposition at this prospect tier level, you know, level of opposition. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. I hope I'm confusing motherfuckers with all this redundancy because I'm confused. Huh? I'm fucking confused on why this shit look like this. Why these money lines look like this. Why cases are being made for certain individuals based off of certain shit. But that case ain't being made for other individuals, although those same things very much so do apply to the matchup. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of picking and choosing going on, man. It's a lot of recency biased picking and choosing going on, and a lot of he hasn't looked that good as of recently bias going on. But you know, he ain't looked that good as of recently. You know, biased shit that's going on. Well, that motherfucker hasn't looked good as of recently inside the UFC, in the UFC octagon, up against somewhat of a higher level of opposition, and for the most part, definitely a higher level of opposition. You understand what I'm saying to you, man? I hope you're confused, because so the fuck am I. I'm wondering what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to figure that shit out in my own right. Motherfuckers. Popped me, man. It popped me. So I tapped in to chop it up. And if my frustration popped y'all, it very much so is what it is, man. You know what I'm talking about? Some bullshit. But I'm going to go ahead and finish pearling this Fire OG up. And put this little parlay video together. You know what I'm talking about? I appreciate y'all or whoever tapped into this motherfucker and stayed all the way to this motherfucking point through this vent and this rant that I just went off on. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is, man. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm bugging. Nobody Maybe nobody gets where I'm coming from. You know what I'm talking about? But I just think it's crazy. And I think if, you know, the case can be made for certain individuals that, you know, they've undeniably been up against a higher level of opposition and resumes are undeniably incomparable, and that's why they should make this one look easy. Why aren't we making the same case for the other ones where all of that same shit, very much so, does apply? You know what I'm talking about? Peace and blessings.